Hello students, I am Pragya Singh Bhattacharya. Today I am here with the outline story of the play Merchant of Venice for the class of 8. So at first I am going to start with the Antonio and his friend where the story starts. Antonio, a rich merchant of Venice, is in a sad mood. He himself does not know why he is sad. One of his friends thinks that he is worried about his merchant ships sailing in different parts of the world. Antonio says that it is wrong as he has many other ventures and he has not put all his resources into his ships. In next point, when Bassanio is arriving here, Antonio's closest friend Bassanio comes. The other friends take their leave. Bassanio has come with a request for 3,000 ducats, which was a large sum of amount in those days. In order to furnish himself with an appearance befitting the suitor of a rich heiress named Portia, who lives in Belmont. He says that if he marries Portia, he will also be able to pay back all his debts. Antonio has no money at the moment, but he expected his ships laden with merchandise will arrive soon. He says he is ready to borrow the money on his credit from anyone. Now we are going to the third stage where he has to sign a dangerous bond. Antonio and Bassanio come to Shylock. Antonio asks the Jew to lend him 3,000 ducats. As I told you before that was a large sum of amount in those days, and he also offered that he will borrow the money upon any interest that Shylock wants. Shylock at once has a thought. Why not make the best use of the opportunity? He take revenge upon his rival. He tells Antonio that it is strange that he has come to him when he was often condemned him for his money dealings, called him an unbeliever, a cutthroat dog, and even spat on his Jewish garments. Antonio gets provoked and says he will do as he did again. And he asks him to lend him money, not as a friend, but as an enemy. Shylock changes his tone and surprises him and Bassanio that he is ready to lend him money without charging any interest. And then he cunningly says that he was only one condition, that is, Antonio will sign a bond that if it fails to repay the money by a certain day, he will forfeit a pound of flesh to be cut from any part of Antonio's body that Shylock desired. Antonio at once agreed to sign the bond despite Bassanio's warning against doing so. The sign is legally written and sealed with Antonio's signature. Now we are going to Belmont, where I will get the Portia. Portia, for whom Bassanio has taken on loan 3,000 ducats, is widely renowned for her beauty and riches. Her father was willed before his death that she would marry the man who, out of 3 caskets, one each of gold, silver, and lead, will choose that which holds Portia's picture. A number of suitors from different corners of the world have come to try their luck at the lottery of the casket. Anyone who decides to choose the casket has to take an oath not to disclose which casket he has chosen. Leave at once in case of failure to select the right casket, and never to marry in life. Many suitors, finding the condition unfavorable, quite even before trying their luck. Now we are going to casket scene, the choice of casket. At first, the Prince of Morocco tried his luck here. He is proud of his physical strength, dark complexion, and rich ancestry. He disfavored the lead casket because of the threatening words of the inscription on it. The inscription on the gold casket was, "Who chooses me shall gain what many men desire." Attract him the most. He thinks that this is the right casket because many men desire Portia. But when the gold casket is opened, he finds no picture of Portia in it. He has to leave Belmont in frustration. The Prince of Aragon is the second man to try his luck. The dull look of the lead casket repels him. He rejects the gold casket because he does not like the word many men desire. He does not want to throw his lot with those of the ordinary man. He considers himself to be extraordinary. He chooses the silver casket and, like Morocco, fails. He also has to leave. Portia is happy they have failed to choose the right casket. Then Bassanio, along with his friend Gratiano, arrive. Bassanio has already come there when Portia's father was alive. Bassanio rejects the gold and silver casket. He accepts the challenging words of the lead casket. He finds the picture of Portia in it. Portia, who seems to have secret love for Bassanio, is highly pleased. Both decide to get married. Gratiano and Portia's companion Narisha also declare their intention to get married. Now we are going to the affair of Lorenzo and Jessica. During this time, two important events happen in Venice. Antonio fails to pay back the borrowed money. His delights the heart of the cruel Jew. He gets Antonio arrested. The second event is about Shylock's daughter, Jessica, who ran away with her Christian lover Lorenzo. What torments him the most of the fact that Jessica takes away with her a lot of money and jewels from Jew's house. Lorenzo's friends arrange a party on the day of their elopement to help Jessica, in the guise of a boy, come out of her home and join her lover. Both her lovers leave Venice in a boat and reach Belmont, where they are welcomed by Portia. Shylock, unable to find his daughter, begins to hate all Christians. He is now all the more determined to take revenge on Antonio.